This series is going the distance. I'm your host, Yingsun. I'm back here with Saisho and Bren. Now, we talked about how this has the hallmarks of being an all-time classic, and I think it's delivering.
Yeah, the performances that we're getting here today are phenomenal. Fnatic were barely in that first half, I felt. They managed to string some rounds together just based on ults, but then on their attack sides, and I think we're seeing this for both teams actually, they're bringing such great ideas to their attack halves that it's difficult to hold on. It feels like we're getting excellence from Fnatic whenever ults are online as well, but I'm maybe a little cautious there that it might only be with ults online.
For sure, but I also think as well, it was pretty evident, I think, that SEN's defense half was, I'm not going to say ill thought out, but it's clear that they don't have as much time into it on Bind, because there were big gaps in terms of how they were playing, which I think Fnatic did navigate really well. You know, we saw, like, for example, the quad peek onto the double hold on short. That just rings out into my mind of immediately Fnatic being able to punish that and just find ways around it still. So they put on a really good performance to bring us to Lotus now, and yeah, what a map. That is now the middle ground for both of these teams, I would argue, as well, for an explosive finish to this series.
Yeah, speaking of how great that map was, though, Brent, Chronicle.
Yeah, dude,
King
Chronicle,
of Bind.
He is the GOAT in my mind, dude. I mean, there's nobody who's like lifting trophies like him. He's got plenty of them under his belt. He's playing like he wants another one, and he kept them in this map, and he kept them in this series because it's elimination on the line. You've got to win this map if you're Fnatic. In the first half, Fnatic weren't doing things, I would say, well, elegantly in terms of their overall strategy, but Chronicle is consistently there with multi-kills, bailing them out of these spots that are tough scenarios, and his game sense is off the charts in a lot of these moments.
You're looking at it when he brings up the scoreboard after getting a kill or whatever, and he's got like 22 kills, the rest of his team's on 10. Now, Durka did catch up to him by the end of the game, but Chronicle was keeping him in it in some very, very tough spots, and he continues to be their best performing player at this event. They're going to need more from him again when things get to Lotus too. He can't slow down. Team's asking almost, I would argue, too much of him at the moment. When you have a super team out there, it's rare that you should see one guy clearly ahead of the rest of the pack. But he's doing it today, and he's been doing it all tournament.
He's just chronically on Bind. Sorry, I really wanted to use that.
I mean, that's quite a good one, actually.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we're always chronically online, so
maybe
it's time for us to be chronically on Bind. But this is the thing, though. The way that Fnatic were able to win out that second half just came from such beautiful plays, of which, if they did this on Lotus, I think it's kind of signed, sealed, and delivered.
Yeah, this is one of the few rounds, actually, where they managed to get an advantage. That's a quad peek against the high-low setup, so outplaying Sentinels, get into a position, put the squeeze on Zelsis, who had a very rough map, and then they close things out with Alfier's ult.
Yeah, and glimpses, I think, of the uncomfortability from SEN, even in this clip, where Zelsis is using the molly to try and cut him off at the choke point instead of using it for plant denial in that spot where, listen, the floodgates are already open. Fnatic were getting in no matter what. That molly's not going to be deterring them from anything, but it's Chronicle again who opens them up into this round, and the ideas that supplement around it with how they're going to be breaking the defensive Sentinels on full display for them to convert the bonus and keep all that momentum going.
Yeah. My one concern is that I agree with you. Sentinels actually didn't look that solid, and yet they still put up an incredibly competitive map.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is the concern for Fnatic today, is that they're getting pushed really heavily by a team that's not at the top of their map pool yet. And I feel like Lotus, we've seen some excellence. It's going to require players like Durka to step up and deliver enormous performances. I think that his entering is going to be absolutely key. And it's something that fell off a little bit, actually, last time they played on Lotus. If you cast your minds back to last time we saw Durka on his Raze playing Lotus against Team Heretics, he messed up a couple of ult situations. Round 7 sticks out to me like a sore thumb when he played Lotus. They got themselves into an ult spot. He didn't use his nade to break a lockdown properly. Boasters in the comms afterwards saying, guys, take a deep breath and just listen to me. It's that simple. And they ended up tilting and losing the map 13-3.
I mean, luckily when we saw them downstage just now, they don't look shaken at all. No. But this is, I'm going to reiterate this again. Bren, Sentinels, they're in the same position today as they were yesterday. They have to be able to close this out.
They do have to be able to close it out, but they've been in a spot like this before, the most difficult path to really walk to even get to a trophy through the lower bracket. Same can be said for Fnatic, but they've done it before. They know they have that experience at the back of their minds. And not just that, I think the fact that they, you know, what you were saying, Josh, the fact that they did manage to contest and tangle with Fnatic so closely on a bind map where they didn't have the most drilled setups, I think speaks just some volumes, I think, about the mentality that this squad has. Now, Sunset, when they played against EDG and they dropped off the face of the earth, was, I think, again, EDG really doing a lot of prep work and counteracting what they were doing. For Lotus, as a third and final map between both of these teams, when Fnatic have already been faltering on it over the course of this tournament, and Sentinels themselves have been looking over and over again, improved every single time that they play it. It's a real interesting dynamic for me. This used to be the bread and butter for Fnatic. This used to be their hometown territory map, but now it's a different question being asked. And I think the form factor that you brought up, Yinsu, is absolutely valid. I don't think we'll see the same crumble from SEN. When you corner them, they're like a caged animal. They seem to just thrive in the pressure of the lower bracket.
Well, let's take a look at Agent Select here and see if we're going to see any changes. And for the second map in a row, Sideshow, both teams are going to stick to what they already played.
Both teams are going to have a good understanding of how each other play as well. We got Sentinels able to pick the side here, heading onto the decider. Attack is generally favored for Lotus. Look towards Zekken and what he can do on the pistol to see if he can build up a showstopper towards round 3. And also try to think about how these teams are navigating ult situations against each other, because they're both going to try to be thinking way ahead of the game. It's not as simple as we have showstopper, we go see. It's like, what are Fnatic going to be doing to stop us getting that online, and how do we then counter that? There should be layers and layers to this Lotus.
It's going to be a banger end to this entire series. It's elimination. This is your entire tournament life on the line, and the end of your year, you don't want it to end in a crash and burn finish. For both of these teams, it's so damn important.
It is indeed. Pansy and Steel, of course. We have the Inspire Arena on the line as well. I can't wait to see which team is going to come out on top.
We are right there with you. It couldn't have been said better. Do you carry on to the arena? The roar of the crowd waiting, or do you fall here now, crashing, burning, year done, to bring one of the most fated rivalries between the two regions? To find now on Lotus, the final map. Map 1, a close Sunset, 13-11, SEN won it. Map 2, it started off pretty close, but then Fnatic took the reins. But here, Josh, it's anyone's game.
If there's a map to end it on, Lotus is the best one. The better team's gonna walk away from here. It's in both their teams' wheelhouses, and it was saved for last. Sentinels like those really pacey attacks on Sunset and also on Bind. Are they going to keep that same tempo going into this? C site open for the taking.
Killed my bot.
They got stalled out. That Viper Orb, that Paint Shells goes down. They can pivot if they need to. There's loads of time to work with, but they haven't explored the rest of the map yet. As Chronicle had an insane performance last map on Bind. He is the one to defend on that A site behind Rubble. Boaster here to back him up. Paranoia as well, ready.
Out of all the players, he's the one you should be scared of. Shaking in your boots. But that shot wasn't clean, but Heroes was. Evades the C's, and Hero leans forward. Chronicle strikes, fighting back with Venom to it. Zelsis and John QT now have nowhere to step. The spike got lost deeper. They've lost down the players. The Sheriff in Zelsis' hand is really the only caveat that's on their side.
40 seconds left. Time's getting low. Turret watches B. And Alpha could actually position himself towards C if he wants to. The rest of his team playing that retake on A. They have the numbers, letting Sentinels go for the site if they want it. Durka on this jump spot. Said, don't worry, Boaster, I got this. 18 seconds left. And they've shown where they want to go. It's going to be so low in time by the time they can get anywhere, but Fnatic's just going to push out there before they can get the spike planted.
Retake, Zelsis, there's the moment. To shine! It was then! He gets two, he tried everything he could, but Hero has his impact, he has his round, and Fnatic get the first.
Fnatic has been so good with these pistols. Chronicle saved them in the attack side of that Bind game, just popping off the heads of Sentinels here. And here, oh my god, Zelsis, he is so close. A pixel off that third kill, and potentially swinging that 2 versus 4 into a round win would have been a huge burst of just emotions and energy for these guys, because they look flat. They were looking so good, especially in that first half of Bind, in that later stage of Sunset, but it feels like they're kind of muted. We don't see them standing up. We don't see them excited. They need to get their confidence again. Durka already with that first pickoff.
And Boaster almost disrespectful.
Spike down A.
Doesn't give them any of the space they'd like to have had, keeping them tamed. keeping them at arm's length. Ten's not finding any way to step forward, and the net's closing. Flanks on the way, and the spike once again left in a very similar place. Yeah, they've got through towards B, but what are you meant to do?
This positioning's so tough. The Fnatic defense, just where they're positioned, it's in yeah, they're not getting through.
Enemy remaining.
And Fnatic have stamped their authority at the start here. This is, again, the first two maps just felt like a warning. This is now the war. It comes down to the final map here, and you're seeing the swing of the pendulum. Right now it's in Fnatic's hands, but we know what Sentinels can do. They can turn anything on a dime.
This round, a freebie for Fnatic. 5 classics up for Sentinels, signaling to us they want to have the strongest buy they can going into this next round, this round 3.
Flawless.
Imperative for them to pick this up. Tournament life on the line. Fnatic looking so strong with these leads from these pistol rounds, but Sentinels fighting back shortly thereafter. Once they are able to find their footing, they can steamroll through. But right now, so many players from Fnatic are actually doing their jobs and doing well. And right now, for the other side of Sentinels, we see it on Zekken. We see maybe a little bit glimpses from John QT as well. But Zelsis has not really been there. Tens, he's had some moments, but a very slow start on that Sunset. We need to see these players start coming online. Because if it's not now, it's not this year. Defaulting, taking out that turret, getting some space on the map. Mound is next. They'll have C, they'll have mid. They'll be able to pivot between the two sites. But A, denied from Sentinels. They might want to come back and re-clear this. They have that Viper wall. They have the Prowlers if they need it. But Boaster, Chronicle, they've been there before. This time, Boaster and Durka to defend, and they've got that Odin. They've got the paint shells, and they've got the Paranoia. This is going to be expensive for Sentinels to get through. And if they can't make it through, funneled Viper Killjoy setup on C, it's going to be disastrous.
That's the first real bit of committed contact there.
Now the one-way's back up.
Feels unbreakable.
They can walk through with that shield from the Viper wall. But again, paint shells, Paranoia. And now back to C. 40 seconds left, Sentinels. They'll need to commit. This kill from Zelsis onto Hero is going to be the difference maker if Hero gives it up. But the orb, the mollies, the turret.
30 seconds left.
There's a lot to deal with 30 seconds to go. Zekken finds a little bit of safety. And he holds his breath and waits. You can already see the curiosity starting to close down. It's Chronicle to take away Tens. Now Alpha retaking the space. Takes a lot of damage. Zekken strides in, but Hero on the trade. Spike with a quick pivot. Zelsis playing ahead. That's huge. Can he buy enough time? Can he buy enough security? He's desperately trying to readjust on the Spike plant. It should be fine on the time. A 3v2 out of nothing. Maybe Sentinels finding their footing here. Boaster and Hero working their way around CT.
They have a little bit to work with. That smoke, a Prowler.
Cover going out.
They repositioned, but still the crossfire from the front of the site and the blue door. If Hero goes all the way around and secures this flank, if Boaster makes enough pressure for it, it could be the difference maker.
Last player standing.
Zelsis puts an end to it.
Zelsis, this round was his. You gotta say it. His earlier positioning, catching the rotation back from C. He did everything right for the side, and you wanted a bit more from him. He gave us a whole lot. Boaster gonna try and back away and keep the Odin in hand, but this round, in my eyes, was off the back of Zelsis. Bit of an unsung hero at times. Does so well here.
And Zelsis can get himself into the game on the front of being able to get kills, being able to find this impact, being able to call that audible and get his team rallied behind him. Then he's also going to start feeling it as well when he gets his team pumped off the back of that. When he starts standing up and starts shouting at the other team and starts getting his teammates involved emotionally, that's when Sentinels gets very scary. 5 kills at the end of last game on Brim. This game, he's already matched that on Killjoy, round 3.
There.
But it was only a bonus.
It
Bringing
was.
it back to reality, only a bonus. High quality, high tempo, sure. But a bonus nonetheless. Now into the buy. The Odin's still retained. That's in the hands of Chronicle this time around. And a very different setup. So Sentinels will have to try and navigate this new look to Lotus.
The Odin spam, so dangerous, so much damage has gone through here. Alpha picking up that first one through that Viper wall just to spam.
And it's Zelsis, Dreams crushed after such an impactful round. And they're sent packing again.
Durka jump spotting this C mound area, gets that refreshed one-way smoke. He's going to be able to get the information, peel away, stay alive. Boaster probably going to be in a position to use a paranoia to stall or anything. Durka cannot overextend here. He needs to make sure that whenever he sees these guys, he backs out and he plays his life. He needs to value it. Letting Sentinels fight back at another round here cannot be allowed to happen.
And Boaster looking for a pixel. Anyone trying to cross through. Tens seems aware. Actually, the paranoia didn't land. Durka with a new lease of life. Counter paranoia. It may not be on, but Durka certainly is. Finds two. Answered back. Sight still under contest. Hero overwhelmed. And Zekin doing everything he can. Plant in play. Trying to make it happen. Good damage. Look at Alpha.
HP.
So low. Pop of the ult here. They need this plant in now. And it is.
Zoned away, respecting that showstopper, but Paint Shell still in play for Zekin. They can back out, they can reposition. Alpha down so low, and Chronicle full HP with that Odin.
Play retake with, but it's got to be traded off of Alpha, right? And Fasasi, 64, still sitting better off. Did he get spotted? He did!
Standing.
Alpha finds him! Zekin, though, can the man become a monster? It looks like he might be able to. 3 in this round, he needs 4! And where does he wait? Where does he guess? The gap closes, 15 HP. Paint Shell to the left. He looks. Oh! It's outstanding! It's perfect! And Zekin becomes the hero Sentinels needed.
Another round where Fnatic have the lead, and Zekin bounces back. He fights back, unleashed, and when he's able to get this showstopper off cooldown.
30 seconds.
Oh, Durka almost saved it for this team. If he was able to pick up a
That
third kill, but
yeah.
if he killed Zekin there, because Zekin has been the difference maker. He's been this X factor. He's been on Raze here. He's been getting value with all of his abilities, and he's been getting the multi-kills for this team.
Game on now. Really back to the Buckies, huh?
A lot of Buckies.
All right,
2020?
Maybe. I mean, it's enough to kind of stop Sen. They're like, I don't really like what's around there. We talk about the pendulum swinging at the start. Well, it's right back in Sen's court, isn't it? The momentum shift. Could be right there, right then. And they're trying to not give away the Buckies, right? Using the classics to deal with the Prowlers, trying to keep this a little bit under lock and key.
But still, that's 2 Prowlers down just to get that information at B. They didn't even get the space off the back of it. They have that A control, probably. They have all of C mound. But Alpha, with his Bucky here, waiting to strike, to get one and leave.
Nah. Wait, hero? Nah, okay, a nice try, but Sen keeping stable. This is good for them. Find the tempo, control the game. Nice Paint Shell. That could have done some damage, and it did actually. Durka dives in. Sen heating up here, taking the lead now. Looking sharp. Fnatic, what's your answer?
I don't know if the Bucky purchases was the play. I've seen some of these players on Sheriffs. I've seen some of them on Stingers. You know, we don't really look at the E and the A for the Stinger fights, but it's been working for it. Teams like Fnatic, teams like Foot.
They had all the Buckies.
Right now, Sentinels takes that lead. Zelsis has his lockdown, and Zekin looks like he's in form at the moment too. So, Fnatic, time for you to respond back, or you're going to let Sentinels start bullying you on this attack side.
Ooh. Tens. So hungry for that kill. Wait, is he just going to keep going?
As well.
I mean, they forced him out of the tree, so takes the space he was given there. Chronicle relinquishing that control, slipping back towards the A site. And Hero's got to reset a touch too. The space the Ten's got is enough that has to be respected.
It's all 5 players for Sentinels towards this A area. Turret watching B first, Fnatic, Alpha on that jump spot still. But this positioning from Tens, he needs to back out of this now. He's been spotted. They need to at least activate that door to threaten that he's gone. He's actually going to back out of this. Haunt goes in, clears it, secures it. Chronicle back on that line with the Odin. Coming back to A, going to be very difficult. Going into B, that's what Sentinel's eyeing up. They have that lockdown for that post plant if they need it, but deciding, wait a minute, not the play we want to do. Let's go C, let's get that pressure onto B. Let's break that turret, force that reaction. If we get this lockdown, this post plant, we easily convert this round.
Yeah.
Durka, he has a showstopper, and I've seen him run through smoke before. Is he going to do that again here to keep the pressure on? He's trying to get the paint shells off on the lockdown. He could cancel this. 23 seconds.
That might be enough. And now what do they do? Running low on time and running low on options. Dirk are going to be on defense. Trying to hold this down, hold the line, make them sweat. 10 seconds, where do you go? There's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. They try and play forward, but the man himself holds them back. 3 in the round. And all their chances run away with the clock.
That was so well played from Fnatic there with that Odin spam, the reclears of the Prowlers and the Haunts, the indecision from Sentinels there, not knowing where they wanted to go. Did they want to go back to C? Did they want to go B? And so much time invested, wasted really, in that indecision. And Durka understanding exactly how he wanted to do that, the timing. He gets in front, he knows that they're waiting for the lockdown to activate, gets that paint shells off, blocks it. Now Sentinels has to push in, zones him out with that showstopper, and he's definitely, he stopped the show. He caused the timeout to come in from the side of Sentinels here. They, you know,
feels surprising.
some rounds.
Considering, I mean, those string of rounds were pretty good from Sen, but maybe just something they've seen so far, or they don't want to let the game get taken away from them, but a 3-3 feels very early.
It wasn't really super clean for Sentinels, though.
That's
if we
true.
look
That
back
is
at this
true.
other round, Zekken got a 4K, ended up with that clutch. It started out in a 5 versus
Zelsis having that impact. Yeah,
Zelsis
you're
was
right.
down. That was a 4 versus 5 conversion from them at that C site. Durka comes in the back, gets 2, but all the trades, Zekken, it really is kind of like a one-man show for him right now. Zelsis is right there behind him, but TenZ again, I have to reiterate, he's been quiet. Saucy, he had some rounds here and there, especially on Sunset at Tiles to get them in the game, and that one round that he got with that double pick off on Tiles probably was the difference maker in such a tight game like that. But here, they need to be all contributing. We're not seeing that. We see Fnatic contributing a lot. Durka had a really big impactful round there as well. And Chronicle last game was all over them. But again, tournament life, and you picked attack. You better have picked attack for a reason. Early contact up B, 5 men, all in. They have that Viper's Pit. They can lock down one of the rotation points. And here they go, right in there.
Thought he might try and fly up towards CT there, but there were 2 waiting. Both trying to catch
No way.
on the backup, and it was Alpha to get Zekken there.
Waterfall
But they're
to
taking
spawn.
a tour. Duck's on 4 HP. Is he hearing this?
This could be a
Yeah,
huge
he's
Viper's
pinging
Pit.
it out. He's pinging it out, but John QT catching the flank as well, trying to give them time. Time to run, time to make it to the side, but they know there's still going to be players here. There's got to be. They find Durka, they do, and he is damaged. He is
Booster
dead,
again.
surely. Boaster, the saving grace of Durka, who could do no more. Where does Boaster go now? Okay, a 3v2. Sarsi and John QT.
My ult is ready.
Nightfall, Viper's Pit, a big couple of ulti, but they want to try and at least secure Mound. John QT gave it a glance, but that's going to force forward Boaster, tries to maybe catch him in that, doesn't get a connection.
Prowler and Haunt, and a C's to follow as well. 1 HP on John QT, and the volley.
There's nowhere to run, there was nowhere to hide, but Saucy, this guy is legendary for a reason, and this might be a reminder. 2 in the round, he needs a 3rd. Chronicle was the king of bind. It doesn't matter now. Saucy saving Sentinels this round.
All you have to do is talk about a player, and they show up. And a big round for Sentinels to climb back on. They lost those 2 first players. Boaster getting a spam kill through the smoke. And another fast play out of heaven to get that 2nd kill. Alpha, you thought right here for sure, 5 versus 3. How is Sentinels gonna get back into this? But they go all the way through spawn. They find those opening kills. Durka's so low, the crossfire broken, and the Viper's Pit. It was almost sealing the deal. Saucy picking them off.
It took 1 timeout and they look right back into it, but they might be taken out again. Zekken leads the fray, as does TenZ. They clear through Mount and they're away. C-site should be under SEN control. Nothing can stop them now. We might need that counter timeout from Fnatic to re-establish their control in the game themselves. This is a 5v3 and they have no step towards the site.
Sentinels looking so strong right now, and this is when they look the scariest, when they start getting these rounds off the back of these clutches, the X Factor, Saucy, 1 versus 3, Zekken getting that big clutch before as well, getting these swing rounds, forcing Fnatic onto these bad purchases, and then once they get these few rounds in the door, they kick up the speed. They find Fnatic. Durka, Bose are both out of the mound, out of position, now out of the round. Sentinels looking to pick up another round here, and the economy for Fnatic is getting low. It's dwindling down, and you're right, a timeout surely has to be called here.
Poison's off.
Chronicle just on a Spectre, and light shields. They're going to deal some damage here.
Nice. He'll do what he can, and he was going to give it up to the spike anyway, so takes a body with him. Not sure if that was his ult potentially there. I'll have to double check when Kron's going to get that in. But beyond that, I was expecting a timeout. He is one away, so is Alpha. But as it stands, it looks like we're carrying on here. Waiting to see if we do see the brakes being pumped. Maybe Fnatic still have a feeling they've got a good read here.
Well played though, well played.
Though, Josh.
Nice open on C, boys. You guys did great.
That's true. It was a good opening on C.
Yeah.
No timeout for Fnatic here. Maybe thinking that they still have control over the situation, but not even taking it to ice Sentinels. The way that their tempo is kicking up here, they're changing the pace of everything. They're catching the opening kills on Fnatic out in the open as well. You'd think maybe trying to put them on ice, slowing everything down, but that's not going to be the case. A little bit of fake pressure towards A from Sentinels. That C control already taken. The orb picked up. They could go straight into an execute if they want. Alpha and Chronicle to defend against this. They're both one off of their ultimates respectively. But already ready to do that execute. Sentinels is right at the entrance, at the cusp.
No fear from Zekken. Now, the fear of God put in by Chronicle, but he's going to be caught here. Does he get punished on this? No. Actually, an opportunity.
Bring them down.
Punishment on this C site continuing. Saucy, not going to go for the plant just yet.
Chronicle left his ultimate. He doesn't want to get spammed there, and it's going to drop.
But the rotation is going to be in. So 5 players here, and there's only 3 on the site currently for SEN. As we can see the disconnect from John QT, he's got himself waiting for that flank potentially. Not the worst in the world, not a bad position to be in. Obviously we know they don't. Tens looking to get active, looking to get involved. Takes away Hero, knows about Chronicle. The Prowler to the left, but the paranoia sends him away. Oh, but Tens, he won't fall. He stands his ground and he takes down another. And now down to Chron and Alpha, trying to play it back through. And now all down to Chronicle. He's in trouble. And you can see why. Tens reigning supreme on the site.
Sentinels starting to run away from this. Fnatic, you have to use your timeout. There needs to be a pause. Pump the brakes. Sentinels is getting away with everything they want to get. They're grouping as 5 and taking their timing. Right now, it's within the first 30 or 40 seconds of the round, some of these rounds that Sentinels is going in. I look back a few rounds ago, they got down, they basically ran out of time. That's how Fnatic won around because there was so much indecision. But here, they walk up, they take the space. Once they have that space,
nice,
so decisive. There's no question about it. We're going in, we're taking it. Even Zekken goes in, goes down first to Chronicle. Doesn't matter, they follow it up and they take the round.
And when we talk about swings and roundabouts and the confidence boost there, you heard it. Zelsis getting active, getting pumped up here, yelling at Tens as well. Get proud of what you're doing about it. This has been a big swing in momentum. Massive activation. Second back on the ult. And Fnatic's economy in shambles. Now remind yourself, to those playing at home, 3 to 6 in this squad is not so bad. I mean, 2 of those rounds were the pistol.
But reminiscent of that bind, right?
Yeah.
They got that pistol on that first half. It ended up not in their favor, 5 to 7, I believe it was. But they climb back. They get that second half pistol, and suddenly they're back in the game and run away with it. So making sure that you get every round here is so important. If you are on Sentinels, you have that showstopper. You're winning with the tempo. You're getting Fnatic on the ropes. Again, it's elimination. It's the last map of the tournament if you lose. Is this how you go out?
We'll find out.
Good.
Looking like a little bit of a fight towards A. Tens carries position, but the spike actually eyeing up that front B site. Potentially a split.
Oh, the tempo, you talk about it, and Zekken's living it! He saw nothing and still got 2. How are you meant to stop this guy?
Right now, you can't, but A weapon in the hands of Alpha. Chronicle on that Sheriff as well. And that shift over to that A site. Sentinels is going there. They're going to go through that revolving door, but already Hero Alpha on that site, potentially being able to isolate some fights here. It all starts with the first kill.
Yeah, pre-fire on it. He's already been forced away. It's on Alpha, who tries to swing, but Sassy too aware. Tens now in unison with Zelsis.
Spike down A.
They've claimed control of the site, and a 1v3 required for Chronicle. To try and dismantle all three of these would be monumental. One on tree, one on site, now two. How are you going to divide that?
Maybe saving is in his best interest at this point. It was a low econ round for Fnatic. They took that timeout. They talked about the plan. It wasn't for this round. It's for this next round coming up. How are they going to deal with everything that Sentinels is throwing at them? Sentinels, again, another quick round. Within the first 30 seconds, 40 seconds, they are making their hit. They're going straight into Fnatic's faces.
Toxins going up.
Kill one.
One enemy remaining.
Nice try. Couldn't quite keep the weapon though. And the money's just fine for Sen. 7 rounds now, Josh. This is the tilting point. I don't think that 3 would be enough, and that's all that he saw and was still able to get both. That is, what a player. What a goddamn player. But now, Josh, this is the changing point, isn't it? It's game on, or it might be game over. 3 is such a small margin. And you feel like one of the Sen players will give you a round or two, so you can't bank on that.
We look at these teams, we look at the structure and the methodical nature of Fnatic. We see Sentinels relying on that individual prowess, that X factor, being explosive and running with that momentum. We're seeing a perfect example of it right here, stealing this game away off the back of 2 huge swing round clutches. The first was Zekin, the second was Saucy. And now with a 4-round lead, potentially looking, eyeing up that 5th round lead. Fnatic, even with that pistol, are trailing. Sentinels.
Is this the perfect fake?
This is, well, they slowed right down, right?
I love
Usually they
this.
would be hitting by now. Boaster on the jump spot. He's gonna get this info. Don't overstay your welcome, though.
He's got it back here. They've been constantly crushing that C site in the buy rounds, but now they start to lean back towards A. The Nightfall there. Boaster is going to be caught up in this. There's no evading that. Oh, and he gets punished! Second, slicing through the site. That's going to be a plant. That's 5 alive. That's a lot of util as well still to play through. Paranoia with 10s, the smoke when he feels like it. Sassy with all of the kit. And on the other side, the showstopper for Durka. Hero potentially could get his ult here if he can get a kill. But they're hold strong on the side. Sentinels want safety. They want the numbers for that second half. They want 8 rounds. Anything less may not be enough, but Alpha going to set it into motion. Taking away Zekin, the spam comes in towards Tree. It's where all the 3 players from Sen are currently sitting. One slightly disconnected is Zelsis, but they take over the site, and Durka takes the kill. John QT standing tall for Sentinels, finally put down by Durka for the 1v1. And the time is too low. Surely there's no more. There isn't. It's 8 rounds for Sentinels. And Fnatic are on the ropes.
Sentinels is unstoppable right now, going through, following through with their plans, and despite Fnatic's best efforts, they're caught out of position. Boaster can't retreat in time. Zekin, he's just too quick with these satchels. Every time they want to go somewhere, Zekin is in there, and he's only been put down a couple of times, but instantly gets that space, and his teammates flood the site. Fnatic, they haven't been able to catch their breath yet. The back of that timeout, 2 round losses in a row.
The reality of the situation setting in. 4 rounds is the most that Fnatic can now achieve. Sentinels eyeing up at 9. Just salting the wound. They haven't got a grip on this half. Sentinels have outplayed them. Their attacking sides have been gorgeous. They look to pressure the A site early this time. No fake to be had, but Zekin leading the fray. A dangerous man through and through. Backs away, takes a moment of respite as Fnatic reset towards the site.
It's a big stall. This timing, Sentinels has been hitting the actual site in all the previous rounds for the last 7 or so rounds, but now less than a minute left. They have that A space, but they need to reclaim C mound first before they do their next action. Info coming in from Boaster. Spots just the Viper. I don't think he sees Zekin on that raise, so might think it's just a lurk. Might reaffirm them to stay towards C. Here comes the lockdown, but this is a fake. Paint shells to stop it. In position is Zerka again. Now that's blocked, but oh.
Ooh, hold on.
Connect. But it's just a fake.
left.
It's towards A still, and Hero's actually bolstering up that A site. Is it going to be a pivot back through that blue door into B as soon as they get spotted here? 20 seconds remain.
Dirk is here though, but yeah, he's still out of position. Boaster goes down. They've unlocked the keys to the castle, but do they expect Chronicle? It doesn't matter. Sentinels striding through the site. Time, 10 seconds. Hero, Durka working together. Desperate to hold on to this. Desperate for a chance. And Sussy is the one to stand in their way. Oh my God, the time. The time. Does he get it?
No ammo!
Bullets! That's how it's defined. That's how close this game is. At 8-4. You couldn't ask for a better half for Sentinels. They'll be happy with that. For Fnatic, their work starts now. This is the time to turn it around. As we take a glance back through this, but coming up in a moment's time, we even get to check in with Meteor in a moment to understand the trials and tribulations of these sort of situations. But what a beautiful game we've got to witness. And there's only one more half to go.
Hello everyone, I'm joined by a very special guest today, Genji's Meteor. Meteor, how have you been? I saw you went on a trip recently. 오늘 하프타임 아주 특별한 손님, 젠지의 메테오 선수 만나보겠습니다. 최근에 좀 어떻게 지내셨어요? 최근에 여행도 좀 다녀오셨던 것 같았는데.
일단 본가 가서 친구들도 좀 만났고 이제 못 본 부모님도 좀 만나고 왔고 그리고 랭크 열심히 하고 있습니다.
You know, I got to spend time with my friends and family, and I've been playing a lot of rank. 그리고, and also this color shirt today, I want to ask, if I may, who are you rooting for? 오늘 옷색 혹시 누구 응원하러 오신 건가요?
사실 DRX 경기를 보러 왔는데 첫 번째 경기도 재밌을 것 같아서 놀러 오게 된 것 같습니다.
You know, I actually came to watch the second match with DRX, but you know, today's game, it's been fun, so I'm just here to watch. And you know, I think you might have some words that you want to say to Sentinels, so let me just ask. 혹시 센티넬에게 한마디 가능하신가요?
일단 우리를 이기고 올라갔으니까 좀 더 높은 곳으로 올라갔으면 좋겠고 우승은 DRX가 해야 되니까 준우승 했으면 좋겠다.
You know, you guys beat us, so I hope you guys make it far, but the trophy is DRX's, so let's just end it right there. All right, that was Genji's Meteor for the halftime interview, and let's go back to Lotus.
Great to hear from Meteor there, but 8-4, we focus back up. Josh, plenty to be said and not a lot of time to do it, but where is your mind going with one half remaining?
Fnatic have looked good with pistols. That's the silver lining in the situation. Facing off elimination against Sentinels here on the third map of Lotus. One of Fnatic's stronger maps, but pointing out how it's one of their stronger maps, they usually have a 60% win rate on their defensive rounds. Right now, they got 4 rounds out of those 12. So needing to dig deep and pull something out of this attack side. We know that they like to start slow, feel out the situation, but Sentinels, they're feeling good. They're feeling confident. They're ready to take some fights, and they've won the big clutches all game so far. Fnatic, they need to start getting some big clutches of their own.
Can they activate?
Very slow start, and Sentinels is having this read towards A. They got that turret to watch B from heaven and ready to play that retake on C. They better have a really good plan because right now, Fnatic's pivoting back into that C site. They got the double smokes online right now. One for Waterfall, one for Spawn. Boombot, paint shells, everything they need to go in here. Both are so afraid of a trap through that revolving door. They haven't cleared B. There's nothing there. It's like fear, paranoia. Sentinels not budging yet after all this noise. Doesn't matter. The walk into the site, Haunt to clear that elbow angle, and They're going to get into the site. They're going to get that spike planted. It's all about how they approach this retake because Sentinels, they're giving them the site. They have to have a plan here. They have all their abilities. How is Fnatic going to deal with it? Because they still have Paint Shells and Paranoia. They can make a really good plan and jam them up in Waterfall and Spawn. Right now, playing a little bit too standard potentially.
Yeah, and actually opting to go back towards site itself. So no one slipped back towards Mound, just leaving the turret towards it. The Prowler goes towards CT. That gets at least a slight connection. They now know that they're getting towards this. 3 through Waterfall, 2 through CT. It's Sassy to start it off. Taking down Hero and Durka now blinded. Put to the corner and dealt with by Second. Another step taken. The HP dwindling. Sentinels. This could be the first nail in the Fnatic coffin. Oh, and it's just flawless.
Flawless round for Sentinels, a pistol round, and starting to dig a deeper grave for Fnatic to sit in because right now, not even a single kill from the side of Fnatic. They knew the retake was coming. Fnatic, they had their abilities, the Paint Shells, the Paranoia, but they don't have the positioning, they don't have the crossfires, they're not communicating, they're not getting the trades, they're not even getting a single kill, let alone a trade.
Let's go! Let's go!
True.
Yeah, 4-9, another step. Double digits just feels so oppressive to face down.
Cover going out.
And a Bucky, a Sheriff, and a fast entry into B. Durka's in their faces. They can get the spike planted, but they need to do a better job than last round.
Yeah, but it's so difficult with these weapons. Like, what are they meant to do? They can try and play the choke points, play, you know, a little bit close here, try and catch someone out of place, but you're not catching Sen right now. They're catching you. Sassy gonna find Chronicle. Hero tries to lean forward, gets caught by the Paranoia, and nearly punished. But the plant gonna come down now. And barely damage done towards Sen as they slowly step back towards that B site. Ten's the first one who might have an issue though. There's 2 players over towards that blue door. Sassy going to alleviate some of the pressure. Durka looking to be rewarded, and he is. Turns around, leaves the weapon over towards his teammate. The flood comes in. Exchange of space. Now they're locked out towards blue door. What are you meant to do with this? 4v2. They're locked off. They're smoked off. They are screwed, and they have to watch as the defuse comes on in. There is no escaping their fate. 10 rounds for Sentinels.
Sentinels is starting to run away with it. The same sort of confidence and we saw in that first map of Sunset is coming back in full force right now. They're firing in all cylinders. Fnatic, they don't have an answer. They're trying to switch up their game plan, getting down and dirty, a fast tempo into B, getting into their faces, trying to, you know, play a scrappy round out. But that's not working. You can't out-scrap the Scrap Masters.
Fire against the bonus. 2 Bulldogs Guardian. Oh, where the hell was that?
Spam through tree onto A main, and the smokes are gone for Fnatic. Just that Viper wall remains. And trying to break through. There's 3 defenders here.
Sentinels just getting stronger and stronger. It feels like the bigger the challenge, the better they get. But for now, they still have to work with lesser weaponry. It is rifles with Fnatic up against Stingers, Sheriffs, Bulldogs. And now that Guardian did pretty well, but it's the numbers, Josh. 3 of them on the site alone.
Just recycling that Viper orb. This first contact kill is pivotal. Durka doesn't get it.
No, but John QT will. That's the spike. Oh, it couldn't be anywhere worse. Because now they can control it, temper it. And it feels just like a death funnel through there. What are you meant to do?
Slow motion train wreck happening here. The recycling of these, the crossfire that they have.
They can't do
34
anything.
seconds, Fnatic.
They are watching their tournament life be drawn away from them second by second. It will be 11 if Sen convert this, which looks exceedingly likely. And it's an excruciating death for Fnatic here. That spike is the downfall. There is no recovering this. And the round will fade away.
10 seconds
and so will a lot of Fnatic's hopes on this one.
Sitting there, they had Paint Shells ready, they had Paranoia ready. There was no getting through Fnatic. Chronicle.
Does he live? He does.
Sentinel's not looking to punish, but getting so close to that 12th round scoreline. Fnatic. Not finding any opening kills here. In fact,
that's it.
Just a few spam bullets.
So nasty.
By the way, I was practicing the spam in ranked yesterday.
True. Well done.
Hey, it works out.
But we look at Sentinels here. They're all contributing now. This is the main point from the previous games. They weren't. And on the other side, Fnatic, where are you guys at?
Need to wake up. Need to stand tall. Or it falls to pieces. And all is forgotten throughout the year. The recency bias is pretty huge in Valorant, and this one is going to be telling. Fnatic made a great run of things with Hero. They've looked as good as they could be, but this might be where they falter. This might be where they fall. 12 could be placed on that board after this round.
Oh, not again!
He's just repeating these nightmares over and over, and 10's at the helm. Zelsis ready and waiting. Reading it
Catch them.
so easily. Not looking phased now.
Bomb grenade out.
And they let them take a little bit of space, but there's no security behind it. There's no safety here.
4v5.
Spike
We've seen
planted.
Sentinels win these types of rounds constantly this series. Fnatic, they haven't. Their post plants, even with 5, haven't looked too hot. Right now, Durka and Hero in that heaven, trying to disrupt the retake a little bit.
Where are you?
Sentinels taking their time, making sure they're moving together. Now they're grouped. Now the retake comes in.
And it's almost an extended bonus. Anything is a benefit in this sort of round, and for Fnatic, it's a must-win. The scales tilted against them. Sussy goes down. It's going to be Chronicle taking them away step by step. Maybe a chance made here, but Sentinels fighting back in. Durka dies. Wait, the timing. He's got the defuse. He's absolutely got the defuse. And that is how Sentinels get to 12.
I got nothing to say. That is just so well played by Sentinels, taking their time, confident. They're not afraid at all to wait and take their time in that retake. That first kill opening it up, made it a 5 versus 4, makes it a little bit easier, but not going too fast, not tripping over themselves, and their patience pays off there. Fnatic fall again.
Just let me keep using the Guardian. I'm just spamming these people.
These people. Not even Fnatic, not humans, barely at this point, just these people. Last chance to dance here for Fnatic. This is it. This is the timeout. 4 rounds is all they could gather. Sentinels look on fire, on form, and poised to carry on. The last signs of life will be either brought back here for Fnatic or fall. That's the simplicity of it. And Sentinels have the money. They got the players. They're in the right place, the right time. Everything is ready. Can we stick the landing, Josh? Do you believe in miracles here? Because Fnatic are going to need something of that ilk.
The one thing that is going in the favor of Fnatic right now is going to be this timeout. It's their IGL Boaster. Camera on him right now. He was first to fall to a Guardian spam from Tree Room. Back-to-back rounds. That's going to affect you when you're trying to make decisions, when you're trying to stay clear-minded about what you want to do, how you want to play out these rounds. And especially in these mid-rounds when you have to pivot, having someone else be able to come in, reset it, give you some direction is going to be important. The counter spam is the play, but Zelsis is sitting here ready. It's going to be a spam battle.
This could be the defining moment. How does it come through over towards A? Who walks away so far? Mostly unscathed. But Zelsis will hold this down. You can hear it on the other side. A little bit of chip towards Durka, but that's it. Control over towards Mound, and we do have the first blood drawn. 10's falls this time. Alpha will be checked on. They now know at least a couple of the positions here. But it's 4 players for Sentinels. And Zelsis looking a little like an immovable object here. How do you get him off of this position? 4 players from Sentinels in the right place. Fnatic trying to fight back, but they are slowly trailing towards this A site. And Zekken waiting, almost caged behind that door. When do you unleash him? You do it now! You take away Chronicle, and suddenly you're back to a 4v4. There's problems left, right. Zelsis takes him away, and now down to 3. Man advantage to SEN. Alpha from the back lines fighting back. Takes away John QT.
40
no
seconds
plant.
left.
Where do they go?
3 versus 3, no space really taken from these guys. They've spotted most of these players on the defense, but they're going to run themselves out of time. Fnatic so indecisive in these moments, but they have to make a final decision and end somewhere. Enough time past. Sentinels is actually over-rotating to C, and Fnatic's going to find an open site.
Okay, plant's going to be in. Now we look at the post plant. How much space are they willing to take? Trying to establish some utility, and the TP is here.
Info. Realizes it's not close.
Nothing.
Oh, he sticks it. But now he knows, hey, they're not spawned yet, which means they over-rotated.
Careful
flanking.
Yep. You're calling these positions out now, but with Zekken standing, there's danger, there's threat, as with Zelsis, as with Sarsi.
Turret, the alarm bot, the smoke at the front of the site, the crossfire. Fnatic.
Kinda clear.
This is looking good for them.
A chance made. But Sentinel step by step, closing in, now down to 2, Hero, a poster, but Celsius, one by one, taking them away as Poster has to try and save him, and it's an absolute nightmare in the making. Diffuse is in, no way! Look at the time!
0.15. And Poster, he misses his first shot, but realizes time is so low. If I get the diffuser right now, they might not be able to get on it in time. That target selection, that choice to switch.
No way. Show me that moment again. The ability to do that in a moment like this. If he didn't get that kill, the round's done. The year's done. That's the difference. That is what kept Fnatic alive.
If there's a comeback, and it's because of that.
Was it all for nothing though? Was this just glimmers of hope? Who knows? But I'm enjoying finding out. Tens, this is an iconic position for this man. I get scared when I see Tens here. No one can really help him in that, so they now know he is towards this.
He's chilling. He's got paranoia. He can teleport away if he needs to. He refreshes that one-way smoke. Fnatic denied that A main control. He knows that the defense is there. And Fnatic actually come back. They're taking towards B. They're taking the spike towards C. So potentially trying to connect through Waterfall. Otherwise, hitting that revolving door and hitting C. But right now, the defense from Sentinels, they have 3 players in this position. They're ready to pivot. Zekken ready to fight B or A. He's been so crucial for these guys all series. Fnatic, 5-man group, 45 seconds left, no ultimates. And Saucy in position with Nightfall as well. The mollies, the alarm bot. It's a fortress that they have to break through right now. Fnatic, if they don't pivot back to B, they're going to walk into traps.
Zelsis, are you going to be their downfall? No!
Wait.
Chronicle strides in, kicks down the door. John QT, the difference maker before. Eyeing it up now, trying to stand his ground. 20 seconds, smoked off by Waterfall. Maybe Fnatic have done enough to control the site.
15
Paint
seconds
shell
though.
posted. They got to be cautious here. That plant isn't for free. They're trying to test this. Tens gonna open the door, swing it. Boaster, big impact. Finding 2, plants in play. Tens and John QT. Are you up for this? 2 low players, maybe 3 you could argue. And it's Tens. And it's John QT. You give them credit, you give them their respect. They are a terrifying duo. But right now, they're being toyed with. No time to make mistakes. As Tens leans in. Oh my God, is this how it goes? Is this truly how it falls away? Tens desperately at the helm trying to do this. 5 bullets to play with and not enough. Chronicle, lifeline made. 6 rounds.
It's so scary to start talking in those moments because when I look at that, it can still go either direction.
Oh yeah,
Sentinels, even a man down multiple times so far, they're able to, with their patience, their slow retake, finding their way into the site. Fnatic, they're just not doing a good enough job of playing off of each other and covering all the holes and being able to trade off of each other. That got a little bit scary. And Sentinels actually going to take a timeout here. Yeah. They have the lead, they have the momentum going forward. It's only 2 rounds that they just lost here. Actually, they picked them up. They got to that 12th round, but Fnatic biting back a little bit. Lockdown, Viper's Pit. Both sides have Viper's Pit. Kaplan decides, hey man, if I'm going to have a timeout and talk before the series ends, now's the best time.
Yeah, this is the thing, and it's why you hold your breath to the very last second, or even less if you're talking about that diffuse. Both these teams have that capability to pick up a gear, right? Fnatic have that, we've seen it in the past. Sentinels are made by that, it feels like. No matter the odds, no matter the score, there is always a chance. So with these players, how do you play perfectly against a team like Sentinels? To not get one-rounded, you know what I mean? That one round where you'll have John QT clutch up, or maybe it'll be Tens this time, or Zek, you list the whole team. I don't know how Fnatic can continue walking this path that's so precarious.
The problem is, even if Fnatic does make every correct decision, even if they do play perfect, it comes down to shooting and a big battle and a big war. And right now, some of the Fnatic players have not been connecting some of their shots, whereas Sentinels, they've been doing a pretty good job of winning out their duels. The last time out Sentinels took round 7, they got 5 rounds in a row off the back of it.
You'd imagine apprehension at an all-time high for Fnatic. No mistakes allowed, no missteps.
Tens with the economy for a Vandal or an Odin, chooses the Guardian, tries to get more spam kills or at least chip damage. Comes the Viper's Pit at C. It's gonna put them off of it, but Fnatic, 4 players towards A, looking to take this control at tree.
You've got to try and get Tens forced away from here. Revealing his new position, he has stepped further back.
Again, I look at this lockdown, I look at this Viper's Pit. If this is a B hit, this lockdown could be so devastating for Fnatic. It looks like they're eyeing that up. Alpha already at middle, ready to go. And enough pressure. Just pulled the rotation into A site. Zelsis, he doesn't care. He's gonna let them have the site. Plant, I don't care. I use my lockdown here. I'm gonna flush you out. There's nothing that can stop him.
Okay, lockdown now. Plant in. What do they do with this? They can still live in the Viper's Pit if they just push through towards CT, but there's 3 players and they can spam this the hell out. It is going to be the battle of Spawn breaking out now, and second is the Warrior who's just ripping apart Fnatic. Limb by limb they fall, and this is what it comes down to, a 1v5, a desperate attempt, and the defuse will be there. The roar of the crowd reserved for the special few. And Sentinels is that team.
Coming into the series, I was not expecting Sentinels to be playing as strong, well gelled together, not against a team like Fnatic that is so known for being able to set the tone of the match, deny all this, everything from happening, and they look so elated right now, getting past this obstacle, this barrier.
And the rivalry will continue. I think it's the best way to put it, and something that true Valorant fans will always look forward to when these 2 teams meet. A wonderful series, 3 maps. I'm so pleased we got a fantastic series here between the both of them. And Fnatic, they gave it their all. I think we can say that fairly. Chronicle, I mean, the guy had a world-class series on Bind. Sunset was down to the wire, 11-13. A valiant attempt from the Fnatic side with a stand-in, with a young player who has to walk against the likes of Sentinels, who came out today and looked a step above.
The Fnatic, they were really strong at stage 2, going all the way in playoffs. They haven't shown the same amount of strength. Sentinels, on the other hand, taken out first round, that knockout round of the playoffs. They squeak by in that group of death. People don't expect them to get by.
True.
They make their way over here. They do it in style. They show so much strength here. Sunset, who saw that coming? Bind, no problem. Get to Lotus, and they just blow them out, 13-6.
You have to be so proud if you're a Sentinels fan, if you've been watching them the entire way. It feels like no matter the odds, they have that depth, and they show it time and time again. The more you doubt them, the stronger they look. And they made it out of the group of death. They put Fnatic to theirs. And they live to fight another day. A real stark contrast here of the highs and lows of competition like this, but it's the beauty of the game. It's truly what we're all here for. Seeing these teams stretch and push, get stronger, better. And this is just a perfect example of that, Josh.
As we get deeper in the tournament, we're going to see the teams that lose their steam fall off. Sentinels, not one of those teams right now. It looks like they're getting recharged, rejuvenated. The deeper they go and the more difficult it is to get through these next rounds.
The stronger they get.
The stronger they get.
It just blows my mind to watch these boys play. What an absolutely beautiful series of Valorant. And a little bit of a treat for you playing along at home. You don't want to go anywhere. Obviously, there's another game coming up today, but we also get to check in as well. For the Verizon post-match interview, we have Sassy standing by. You want to hear this.
Hello everyone, it's Bella with the post-match interviews. I'm joined by Sentinel Sassy. Congratulations, Sassy.
Thank you.
Oh my god, what a game. I'm so nervous from it. 센티넬의 사시 선수 인터뷰 먼저 만나보겠습니다. 어제 못 봤던 승리의 맛을 오늘 푸나틱을 상대로 가져가게 됐는데 인스파이어행 티켓을 거머쥐게 된 승리 소감부터 묻도록 하겠습니다. You guys showed resilience today, shook off yesterday's loss, took that win against Fnatic, and now you're off to Inspire. How's that feeling?
Feel amazing, to be honest. I mean, I'll be honest, this is a Sentinel's way, you know. We always take the hard path, and we did great today. I'm really proud of the boys, of the team, the coaching staff. They did a really good job. And yeah, I'm so happy that we're finally going to the Inspire Resort.
당연히 너무 기분 좋고요. 오늘 이렇게 경기를 하게 된 게 이게 뭔가 센티넬의 방식 같다고 항상 어려운 길을 이렇게 쭉쭉쭉 겪어오면서 오늘 진출을 하게 됐고 물론 코칭 스태프한테도 너무 감사하다는 이야기를 하고 싶고 우리 팀원들한테도 너무 자랑스럽다고 이야기를 하네요. 그리고 사시 선수의 폼이 되게 매 경기마다 좋아지고 있는데 이전에 트로피를 한번 들어본 경험이 좀 도움이 되고 있는지 한번 물어보도록 하겠습니다. You know, your form is getting better every day with each match. And do you think like you get that extra umph in champions because you know you've been there, done that already?
I mean, I'm used to it for sure. Like, I'm experienced. It's my third champion already. And you know, I've lifted the trophy before and I know the feeling, and now I really hope that my teammates has the same feeling as well.
오케이. 당연히 너무 익숙한 감정이라서 뭐 챔피언스를 세 번째 이렇게 하고 있으니 나는 이미 어떤 느낌인지 우승하는 맛을 알기 때문에 우리 팀원들도 느꼈으면 좋겠다라고 이야기를 했습니다. 그리고 제가 들었을 때 센티넬이 16시간씩 연습하면서 카플란 감독님의 공장에서 벗어나질 못하고 있다 이야기를 했었는데 이제 좀 오늘 이겼으니 좀 드디어 좀 나 탈출을 할 수 있는지 물어보도록 하겠습니다. You know, 16 hours scrimming, and do you think with this win, do you think you can finally get a break from Kaplan's chocolate factory?
Not really. I mean, the only break that we have is like one day to go to the resort. That's it. But when we get there, we'll make sure that we're gonna practice. You know, I mean, Cap always put a lot of works, and he make us work a lot as well. But it's been working, and we are here.
Maybe the break after.
I mean,
winning.
the break after, yeah. But
Yeah, after
I don't
winning.
want to think about after now. I
Okay.
want to live in the present.
Alright. 이제 사실 휴식기가 하루밖에 없었기 때문에 뭐 오늘 이겼다고 해도 이제 카플란 감독님이 좀 연습을 많이 시키는 편이기 때문에 이제 다시 연습을 임할 거라고 이야기를 하네요. 그리고 제가 그럼 끝나면 좀 브레이크가 생길까 물어봤는데 지금 브레이크 갖는 거 생각하고 싶지 않고 그냥 지금 매 경기에 임할 거라고 이야기를 했습니다. 센티넬의 사시 선수 인터뷰 만나봤습니다. Thank you, Sassy. Congratulations
Thank you.
again.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
All right, that's it from us here, but we'll be back after the break to see DRX taking on Team Heretics.
There is a lot of history between these two organizations, and somehow every time they meet, the stakes are always high.
Sassy sends out Dizzy. John QT, the lurk comes in perfectly. As Alpha left in a 1v4, he's been found. You can't get the follow-up on Boaster. Speaking about fragging IGLs, it's Boaster at the helm this time.
Right, I'm in the market. I'm going shopping, bruv. And what's on their menu? Sentinels.
How are you meant to persuade the players on the site? You can't when Tense does that. The camera comes up, they want to get it towards half.
Tense.
They might just do it, but Tense, the bully of the big boys, afraid of no one, shuts out map 1, 13 to 11. And it is all going to be down on timing. Tense completely unawares. Spots a pixel and gets the body.
Nightfall and a fast retake.
Chronicle on the swing, and he hits! 1v5, this would be monumental!
Wait.
Oh my god, it's halfway though! He has to go, he has to swing! And he falls! Do we go for the firing squad? I'm still a little nervous here. Okay, Durka. And it looks like this is what it comes down to. And it's over, map 3 is unlocked! Can the man become a monster? It looks like he might be able to. And where does he wait? Where does he guess? The gap closes 15 HP. Paint shell to the left. He looks. Oh! It's outstanding! There's nowhere to run, there was nowhere to hide, but Sarsi, this guy is legendary for a reason. Sarsi saving Sentinels this round. Take them away, step by step, maybe a chance made here, but Sentinels fighting back in. He's got the defuse. The roar of the crowd reserved for the special few. And Sentinels is that team.
She's so fucking high. 저승사자보다 더 발라. Ryan on your gravel, you hate shit, me feel like throwing shit. Goes by the hop, you a fuck bitch. Alright, these big shit got over on. I got a big key, put it in shit got over on. It's right, don't let Joe shit got over girl. I feel this bitch's big shit got over girl. Shit got over girl.
Life is a series of choices, reciprocating the loud voices. It's perpetual license on the
나 이거 시작한 지 언젠지 하도 힘을 주고 있더니 지금도 뻐근한 내 어깨 내가 지금 뱉고 있는 가사는 대체 뭘 위한 건데 모를 거야 난 평생 내 선생 또 선배는 너를 정내 플레이리스트에 남들과 좀 다른 게 들어왔지 눈에 투면 내 same thing 비슷해 보이는 거 빼고 골라서 선택 It is the mistake For the cash, for the fame 관심 없어 난 내 가사에만 몰입해 계속 work on 믿었어 그럼 따라온다고 잔스레 근데 항상 따라붙는 조바심 내 버릇이 잡아먹는 강박 내 목소리를 팔아 남들 다 하는 얘기 말고 진짜 내 living life 다 끝내 눈 감아 뭐 접어 그 전까지 날 붙잡고 있는 것은 다름 아닌 사랑 It's love What is love? I I don't know